Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this Leadership Live at lunchtime, which is a masterclass on leadership positioned as a lunch and learn to help you level up your leadership and grow your leadership potential. We are live from My Growth Academy, which our vision is kingdom standards in educational excellence. Welcome to it. I am a leadership coach and trainer with the John Maxwell team, and I've taken on the challenge to develop 1,000 leaders worldwide through a free masterclass and weekly 90-minute mastermind sessions. My name is Simon Fune, and this is my masterclass. Today we're going to look at self-awareness as an area of growth to discover your own purpose and potential. We'll be looking at the following, which is a brief overview of the importance of self-awareness in leadership. We're going to look at understanding self-awareness, developing self-awareness, deepening self-awareness, and applying self-awareness to leadership. If you like what you hear today and want to level up your leadership potential, skills, and impact, look out for the registration link below for my weekly mastermind. This is a premium leadership group coaching program where I take you to the next level in your leadership 90 minutes at a time. I'm going to quickly share that link below in the comments. While I post the links to this masterclass or this mastermind, please let me know in the comments below what is your expectation of the class today. Go ahead and post that for me in the comments while I just post the link up in the live broadcast today. Love to hear your feedback. What is your expectation of the masterclass today? Post it in the comments for me below. And live broadcast today. Then we'll get going. All right. Are you ready? Let's hear. I'm just going to get some. Okay, there's the posts of the feedback. All right. Are you ready? Let's go. Leadership Live at lunchtime. I want to quickly welcome you, all those that are watching live from all over, and obviously if you're watching the replay, we'd also like to welcome you to this stream. Let's quickly set the objectives for this session. Right, one of the things we want to achieve is to develop self-reflection skills where you deepen your self-awareness and gain insights into your own thoughts and behaviors and your emotions. Then we want to enhance emotional intelligence. If you understand the role of your emotions in your personal and professional context, you will get strategies to develop your emotional intelligence, which includes self-awareness, self-regulation, empathy, and social skills. We want to identify strengths and weaknesses so you can leverage them for success. We want to explore personal values and beliefs so you can align them to your leadership style, your decisions, and your actions. We want to foster authentic leadership by promoting self-awareness, transparency, and congruence between your actions and your values. Then we want to cultivate effective communication skills. This includes active listening, feedback, assertive expression, fostering meaningful connections, and understanding your interactions. Then we want to promote continual personal growth. This is one of the biggest keys and the biggest drives of this masterclass that's happening every Monday. I want to encourage you to apply this in your leadership context because it will enhance your ability to inspire, motivate, and create positive impact within your teams and in your organization. And then we want to nurture empathy and understanding by recognizing your diverse perspectives and experiences that contributes to leadership and collaboration. And lastly, we want to create a positive and learning community. Here you'll have open dialogue, trust, and peer learning, allowing you to share experiences, challenges, and your insights into self-awareness. Let me quickly give you an overview of the importance of self-awareness. But before I get started, remember to let me know what is your expectation of this masterclass today. Post it in the comments. I love feedback, and I love also sharing with you and acknowledging you in the broadcast. Self-awareness is crucial for personal and professional development. It involves deep understanding of your own thoughts, emotions, values, strengths, weaknesses, and your impact on others. So what does it entail? Self-awareness in leadership is important because it improves your decision making. You'll be more attuned to biases, your own biases, preferences, and blind spots. This way you'll make better decisions by considering various perspectives and avoiding impulsive reactions. Effective communication is a part of self-awareness because it enhances communication skills. You adapt your approach to connect better with others, promote active listening, and foster a more inclusive and collaborative environment. It includes emotional intelligence. Self-awareness is a cornerstone of emotional intelligence. And if you can regulate your emotions effectively, you will understand how they influence others. It shows empathy towards your members, your team members, and it helps you create a positive and supportive work atmosphere. It will create authentic leadership, and we're going to touch on that later in the class today. If you align your actions and your behaviors with your values and your beliefs, you are more trusted as a leader, you inspire others, and you cultivate a safe environment for people to be themselves and contribute their best. It will help you in relationship building. You'll build stronger relationship with your team, and by understanding your own strengths and weaknesses, you can delegate tasks effectively, provide constructive feedback, and empower others to grow. Adaptability and learning is a product of self-awareness. If you're open to learning and adaptable to change, you can recognize the areas where you can improve and seek feedback on it. And by this, you will expand your knowledge and your skills. And lastly, conflict resolution. Right? Self-awareness will help you navigate conflict constructively. And by that, and recognizing your own role in conflicts, managing your emotions, you can seek win-win situations by considering feedback. Let's look at understanding self-awareness. Let's first do a definition. I think that will help, and then we will talk about the role of self-awareness in leadership. Okay, self-awareness is a conscious knowledge and understanding of yourself. This includes your thoughts, emotions, beliefs, values, strengths, weaknesses, and its impact on others. It involves recognizing and accepting both positive and negative aspects on yourself without judging yourself and without being defensive about it. It has a big role in leadership because it will provide you with valuable insights in your own behaviors, motivations, and impact that you have on others. It allows you to continually learn and grow. And this will help you focus on personal development areas and seek opportunities to enhance your own skills. Let's talk about the benefits of self-awareness for personal and professional goals. I'm going to highlight these real quick. They are clarity of goals and values. By understanding what truly matters to you, you can align your actions and decisions with your core principles, leading to a greater sense of purpose and fulfillment. It will enhance your self-management. You will better manage your emotions, behaviors, and reactions. You will recognize your triggers and patterns where you can regulate your responses and make conscious choices and maintain composure even if you're in a challenging situation. You'll be able to leverage strengths and weaknesses by addressing those weaknesses. If you understand your unique capabilities, you can focus on developing and utilizing these strengths. And it helps you identify areas for improvement and for development. And lastly, it will increase your resilience and your adaptability. If you are more self-aware, you are more resilient and adaptable in the face of challenges and change. Okay, negative setbacks and transitions will with greater flexibility, perseverance, and optimism. So I've got a question for you before we move on. Which one of these benefits are you looking forward the most? Which one of these benefits are you looking forward the most? Clarity of goals and values, enhanced self-management, leveraging your strengths and weaknesses, and increasing your resilience and adaptability. Post them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Let's explore the relationship between self-awareness and emotional intelligence, because these two are mutually enforcing. They reinforce each other. Self-awareness is a foundational element of emotional intelligence because it involves recognizing and understanding your own emotions, strengths, weaknesses, values, and impact on others. Emotional intelligence, on the other hand, is a broader set of skills and abilities relating to recognizing, understanding, and managing both your own emotions and the emotions of others. Let's explore the relationship between self-awareness and emotional intelligence. Self-awareness is a component of emotional intelligence because it's the starting point for developing other aspects such as self-regulation, empathy, motivation, and social skills. Without this, it's challenging to understand and manage your emotions effectively. Then, recognizing and understanding emotions is very important. It involves accurately identifying various emotions, their triggers, and the impact they have on thoughts, behaviors, and decision-making that you have. It allows you to differentiate between different emotions, such as anger, sadness, or joy. And later on, I'm going to share a very interesting thing with you in terms of what happens with my body, my personal state, and how that affects everything that I do. And self-regulation is obviously important. It's the ability to manage and control your emotions. You can consciously regulate your responses and avoid impulsive or inappropriate reactions. I've made this mistake at least twice in my life. Very, very big mistake where my emotions got the best of me. And in something simple like a WhatsApp interaction, made a big error and possibly damaged the relationship. Through self-regulation, I can constantly regulate my responses and avoid impulsive or inappropriate reactions. It involves techniques like self-management, stress management, emotional control, and resilience. Another thing where their relationship works well and the dynamic between them is empathy and understanding others. It contributes to empathy, which is the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. You can relate to others better and validate other people's emotions. It will lead to greater empathy, active listening, and supportive relationships, which is very important in leadership. If you want to achieve something specific in your life, you're going to need people to get there. All right. Motlapula says, leveraging strengths and weaknesses. That is her. She's looking forward to that. So, authenticity and emotional expression. Self-awareness supports authentic emotional expression. It creates a safe and open environment for yourself and for others. It contributes to trust, transparency, and healthy emotional dynamics. And you'll also find it promotes continuous growth and learning. If you want to get further in life, you are going to have to make sure, or you're going to have put things in place that's going to help you continuously grow. Self-aware individuals are open to feedback, receptive to new perspectives, and committed to self-improvement. They seek opportunities for personal and professional development, leveraging their self-awareness to identify areas for growth and adapt their behavior accordingly. So I got a question for you. Which one of those skills developed through emotional intelligence is the most exciting to you? Is it emotional intelligence as a component of self-awareness? Is it recognizing and understanding emotions? Is it self-regulation, empathy and understanding others, social skills and relationship management, authenticity and emotional expression, or continuous growth and learning? If you like what you hear so far, I want you to, and you want to level up your leadership potential, skills, and impact, look out for the registration link below for my weekly mastermind. This is a premium leadership group coaching program where I take you to the next level in your leadership 90 minutes at a time. Let's go to developing self-awareness. Now, there's a couple reflective practices, and I have to admit to you, this part and this section that I'm going to share with you now is one of the most fun and most exciting parts of personal leadership and self-development. There are reflective practices which are valuable tools that you can use for introspection, gain insights into your thoughts, behaviors, and deepening the understanding of yourself. So here's some reflective practices that can help you in developing self-awareness. The first one is journaling. If you reflect on your experiences, thoughts, and emotions regularly, you can record significant events, challenges, successes, and the lessons that you've learned. I've taken my first mastermind group through this exercise, and we've realized that, listen, by the beginning, when we do journaling and we write down our thoughts, emotions, and experiences, and we read through it, we can see the weekly progression in our lives and see the daily wins that we get. It provides you with a space for self-expression and self-discovery where you facilitate self-awareness. Another one is mindfulness, meditation and mindfulness. Now, being in a ministry context, for me, I use the word meditation very carefully. And I want you to understand that it's just meditating on the things that are important, right? Have them written down, look over them, discuss them, say them, speak them out, because it cultivates self-awareness by bringing attention to the present moment and observing your thoughts and sensations without judgment. It enhances your ability to notice patterns, emotions, and triggers, fostering a deeper understanding of yourself. Another great tool for reflection is self-reflection questions. Now, in my mastermind, every week, what we do is we give people questions to work through. And often people think like, I don't have time and you're just giving me stuff to do and you want to keep me busy, etc., etc. And that's not true. And what it actually does is those questions help you to develop your self-awareness. I'm going to give you some examples in a moment. I got to be honest with you, when I started journaling myself, I had the blank page in front of me, and it's difficult to go and write down certain things that are going to help you address the areas in your life that you want to look at. Okay, but using guiding questions are very valuable. Questions like, what are my core values and beliefs? What are my strengths and weaknesses? How do I react in challenging situations? These things encourage introspection and self-discovery. Another valuable tool is seeking feedback. Now, in our journey together, what you want to do is you want to identify and develop relationships with mentors, peers, team members, because they can provide valuable insights into your own strengths, your blind spots, and the areas of improvement in your life. What we're looking for here is honest feedback. It will give you an accurate perception of yourselves, contributing to your self-awareness. Now, I want to give you a very, very valuable tip here, and that is to in the relationship with these people to give them permission to give you feedback, and promise and commit to them that you're not going to get offended, you're not going to be angry, and you're not going to think less of them. You want the positive feedback from them so that you can develop yourself. Okay. Another one is emotional awareness. If you develop the habit of regularly checking in with your own emotions throughout the day, you can enhance your self-awareness. If you recognize and name the emotions experienced in different situations, it will help you understand your emotional responses and the factors that influence them. Now, this is an exercise. These exercises that I'm sharing with you is an exercise that shouldn't take you more than 15 minutes, but they are crucial for your personal development. If you check in with yourself daily, you will have a much better response and relationship with yourself, and you'll keep on improving every day. Lastly is the one that I mentioned before is quite exciting. Well, not lastly, but one of the ones that I found quite interesting was body awareness. Now here we're talking about recognizing tension, discomfort, or even relaxation in certain situations. Those are clues to your emotional state and your overall well-being. If you practice body scanning yourself regularly and engaging in activities like mindful movement, exercise, etc., it helps you to develop a deeper connection with your body and your emotional responses. Two more. Reflective writing prompts. Engaging in focused, reflective writing exercises can foster self-awareness. Now, here we're talking about prompts like, just keep apologies, just add some noise around me. These are prompts like this, like for instance, describe a situation where you felt most alive and fulfilled, or reflect on a recent challenge and what you learned from it. Now, these writing prompts and emotional awareness questions, or the reflection questions, those are questions that you're going to have to construct for yourself so that you can dig out of yourself the things that are important. And you want to craft time alone for yourself for reflection. Here you want to reflect on your thoughts, experiences, and personal growth. The solitude that you'll experience here will provide an opportunity to process emotions, gain insights, and foster awareness. Just give me a second. Right, so I got a question for you. Are you using any of these reflection exercises? And if so, which one and how has it helped you? You post that in the comments below. I'd love to hear your feedback, and I'd love to just recognize your participation as well. Thank you so much for being with me today. Let's talk about seeking feedback. Seeking feedback, and let's explore its importance, strategies for actively seeking feedback as a way to encourage a culture of open and honest feedback within your organizations. The first thing is emphasizing the value of feedback for self-awareness. With feedback is valuable, it will give you an accurate understanding of your strengths, weaknesses, and blind spots. It provides insights into how you behave and how your actions are perceived by others. By shedding light on these gaps between intention and impact, you recognize the areas that you can potentially work on. Feedback fosters self-awareness by highlighting areas for growth and developing. It enables you to make informed decisions and informed choices for your personal and professional development. Okay. I want to share with you some strategies that you can use for actively seeking feedback from others. And we've spoken about feedback a little bit before in the previous session. Before I carry on with these strategies, I want to share with you a very powerful quote that I've learned in my leadership journey. And it's this. It's a quote by Ken Blanchard, and he said, feedback is the breakfast of champions. If you want to win in life and you want to really make an impact in others' lives, seek out feedback from other people so that you can hear the truth about yourself and you can identify areas for you to develop in a positive way. So here's the strategies. I've got 4 to share with you. Create a feedback-seeking mindset. If you cultivate a mindset that views feedback as an opportunity for growth rather than criticism, you will win. Embrace the belief that seeking feedback is a proactive step towards self-improvement. Number 2, seek diverse perspectives. You want to actively seek feedback from colleagues, mentors, team members, we mentioned before, peers, people that represent different roles and levels of perspective in your life. I want to pause here and just say this. The biggest leadership challenge today is the individual. All right. And if we start with developing ourselves as leaders, I have this saying that as soon as you change yourself, you see everything will change around you. Okay. By seeking diverse perspectives, you have a lot more views and people and feedback sources in your life that you can draw from. This variety of viewpoints provides a holistic understanding of your performance and your impact. Number 3, be specific and contextual. When you seek feedback, be clear about the areas or behaviors you would like feedback on. Because people will be able to give you feedback on a lot of different things. But if you provide them context to ensure that the feedback received is relative and actionable, it will be a better exercise. And lastly, use a growth-orientated approach. Frame your feedback request with a growth-orientated mindset, focusing on opportunities for development rather than seeking validation or praise. Let me say that again. Frame your requests with a growth-orientated mindset. You want to focus on opportunities for development rather than seeking validation and praise. So yes, you want good stuff, but you also want real, right? This encourages honest and constructive feedback. Let's talk about encouraging a culture of open and honest feedback within your organization. The first thing you want to do is you want to lead by example. You should actively seek feedback from your team members and demonstrate openness and receptiveness to different perspectives. Remember the previous skill I shared with you, regulating your emotions and identifying the issues where you can actively develop and work on without judgment is very important. That sets a tone for a feedback-friendly culture. Number 2, provide feedback training. You want to equip employees and with the skills to provide specific, constructive, and actionable feedback that is focused on growth and improvement. Normalize feedback conversations. I think this is 3. If you encourage regular feedback conversations by integrating them into systems like performance reviews, team meetings, or one-on-one discussions, you will normalize the practice of giving and receiving feedback as a regular part of the organizational structure. Let me give you an example of some of these things that I've done before. Sit with a member of your team one-on-one, and the focus here is not on how can they improve, but making sure and checking how can you improve. Remember, the self-awareness is about self-development, personal development. And so in these, I'll ask questions like, do you have everything that you need from me? What else can I help you with? How am I doing as a leader? What can I improve? And if you normalize these, you'll have a better environment. Next, you want to foster psychological safety. Create an environment where individuals feel safe to provide honest feedback without fear of negative repercussions. Emphasize that feedback is intended to support growth and development and not for punishment. And lastly, recognize and appreciate the feedback. Say thank you for speaking the truth. Thank you for being open with me. Celebrate feedback as a means of personal and organizational growth. I got another question for you. Where have you used feedback effectively as a tool of self-awareness, and how has it improved your leadership? Where have you used feedback as a tool of self-awareness, and how has it improved your leadership? I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Post it up so I can give you some feedback. And if you have any questions at this point, I'd love to hear from you. Please share that with me as well. Let's go on to the next section. I just want to check where we are. Okay, we're still on track here. Okay, let's talk about assessments and tools. Okay, we want to explore these tools that we can use as a tool for self-reflection and also developing more self-awareness in ourselves. Okay, self-assessment tools are instruments designed to provide you with insights into personality traits, strengths and weaknesses, and work-related behaviors. They are structured frameworks and questionnaires that help you gain a deeper understanding of yourself and your preferences. Now, here's an overview of popular self-assessment tools that has been used today. First one is personality assessments. Tools like Myers-Briggs is a type indicator, and there's also the Big 5 personality traits that provide you with a framework to understand your personality traits, communication styles, and preferred ways of working. Some of the tools here are DISC. Very familiar with those. There's also the bank code. You can Google that. And also, going to the next one, strengths-based assessments like Clifton Strengths, and VIA character strengths, and there's also Strengths Finder 2.0. I highly encourage you get that book and read it. And this will identify unique strengths and talents that help you leverage these for personal and professional growth. Now, let me pause here before I do the last one and just ask you this question. Do you think when you have strengths and weaknesses that you should take your weaknesses and work on them? Some people have this thought, and these are high-performing, high-net individuals, and they say, double down on your strengths and be aware of your weaknesses. Okay, we don't want to go and fix the weaknesses. Those are weaknesses, and you might not be able to fix them. But take your strengths, know what they are, double down on them, and use them in what you do. Here's an interesting concept. It's called 360-degree feedback. This feedback tool gathers insights from multiple perspectives, your peers, managers, subordinates, and different self-assessments. These are comprehensive views that you can use into your to assess and get known about your strengths, areas for improvement, and your impact on others. I'm looking for your comments. You're very welcome to share them with me. I want to caution against over-reliance on these tools, though, and double down and emphasize the importance of self-reflection. Assessment tools, assessments are very valuable, but they shouldn't be the sole basis for developing your self-awareness. Exercises like self-reflection, introspection, and direct feedback from others are essential and important and better tools for a holistic understanding. Because assessments have limitations and they can be influenced by various factors. They just provide you with a general framework and indicator, but individual experiences and context can shape your behavior differently. We want to use assessments as a starting point for self-discovery, but they should be complemented by self-reflection to validate and interpret the results. Self-reflection helps you understand your own experiences values, beliefs, and contributes to a more nuanced self-awareness. Okay, I'm going to ask you another question because I want you to feedback and communicate with me in the comments below. Which assessment tools have you previously used, and was it valuable to you? In which way? Which assessment tools have you used before, and was it valuable to you, and in which way? I'd love to hear your thoughts below in the comments, and I want to show you what I do with those comments. Let's look, for instance, here. Eric Babatel says, thank you for the robust presentation. You are very, very welcome. If you have any questions on what I mentioned so far, you're welcome to ask them in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer your questions. I appreciate this so much. Daphne says Myers-Briggs. She's used Myers-Briggs, and she used that to know her strengths. Then Eric says, do you offer all these tools? Unfortunately not, but what I can do is I can maybe create a resource for you and post it later in the comments, and you can download it, and it has all the links that you can go to. All right, but like I said, I want to emphasize the assessments as a starting point, and reflection should be the journey that you go on. So thank you. Guys, I just want to again say thank you so much for joining me today. This is a brand new audience, and people that I haven't seen or engaged with before. I want to give you my deepest gratitude and say thank you for joining this class today and spending time with me. I'm really, really appreciative of that. All right, let's go to deepening self-awareness. How do we deepen the self-awareness in our lives? We're going to cover an explanation of emotional intelligence and its impact on your leadership. I'm going to look at 5 components of emotional intelligence and provide practical strategies for developing emotional intelligence. Are you ready? If you're ready, say in the comments, I'm ready, let's go. All right, let's look at deepening self-awareness. And the first thing that we want to look at is emotional intelligence. We're going to explain emotional intelligence and the impact on leadership. Okay. Emotional intelligence is also referred to as EI, okay, or EQ, maybe. But it refers to the ability to recognize, understand, manage, and effectively use emotions in yourself and in others. In leadership, emotional intelligence, or EI, is crucial because it influences how leaders perceive and manage their own emotions and those emotions of their team members. Okay, so if you know what your emotions are and the emotions of your team members, you are better equipped to navigate conversations, training, working environments. High emotionally intelligent leaders are better equipped to inspire and motivate their teams, manage conflicts, build stronger relationships, and create positive work environments. Now, let's go to the 5 components of emotional intelligence that it's important for us to know. First one is self-awareness. Now, this is the topic of our talk today. But this involves recognizing and understanding your own emotions, strengths, weaknesses, values, and impact on others. We've repeated that quite a bit today. Another one we've repeated before is self-regulation. It's the ability to manage and regulate your own emotions, impulses, and behaviors. Leaders that self-regulate demonstrate emotional control, adaptability, and resilience. Let's pause there and let's be real. A person that is not in control of their emotions, have outbursts regularly, get offended, cross, and react in a negative way. And we're talking about negative to your culture, right? Those are not people that are valuably engaged with. They don't add value to the environment, okay? But a person that's composed, has control of the emotions, and perhaps goes away and freaks out in the bathroom or goes to the office and there have their cry or whatever, they have a lot more respect. They are more effective. because they don't publicly have emotional outbursts, etc. Okay. Another component of emotional intelligence is motivation. Leaders with high emotional intelligence are driven by intrinsic motivation. They demonstrate passion, persistence, and a commitment to achieving goals. They inspire and energize teams. Motivated people are good to have around. Next one is empathy. I love this one. Empathy is something that's one of my motivational gifts, if you will. It's the ability to understand and share the feelings of others, right? Empathetic people would share the heartbreak and the emotion of someone else. Maybe they lost a loved one or whatever the case may be. Okay. And lastly, social skills. It involves effective communication, the ability to collaborate, resolve conflict effectively, build positive relationships. These leaders create a positive and engaging work environment to work in. Let's look at some practical strategies for developing your emotional intelligence. First one is practice self-reflection. We spoke about it before, but I want to highly encourage you, allocate time for self-reflection so you can understand your own emotions, triggers, and behaviors. Journaling we shared as a tool before. Regularly journal, meditate, and engage in mindfulness exercises like these because it will enhance your self-awareness. We spoke about feedback. Seek feedback regularly from others. It will help you gain insights into how your emotions and behaviors impacts other people. Then I want you to use this feedback to improve self-regulation, which we mentioned before, and develop empathy. And let's be honest, it also speaks about maturity. We mentioned this before, develop active listening skills. Practice this regularly. Because if you do, you will understand other people's emotions and perspectives. I want to encourage you when you do active listening, which is a big skill, we'll maybe talk about it a little bit later as well, but give your full attention, maintain eye contact, and ask clarifying questions regularly. Next, you want to cultivate emotional regulation techniques. Now these, I don't want you to think about this as airy-fairy or weird or whatever. These are effective techniques to help you. Breathing deeply, being mindful, reflection, stress management. Stress management is a lot of different things, okay? It could be running. It could be intimacy. There's a lot of different things that you can use. You want to foster positive relationships. Okay, you strengthen your social skills this way by actively building relationships, demonstrating empathy, and communicating effectively. And continuous learning and developing. If you invest in your learning opportunities, it will enhance your emotional intelligence by attending workshops, read books, engage in coaching or training programs. Okay, so I have another question for you. How has emotional intelligence helped you before? How has emotional intelligence helped you before? Post it in the comments for me below. I'd love to hear your feedback. If you like what you hear so far, again, I just want to encourage you to, if you like what you hear and you want to level up your leadership potential, skills, and impact, I want you to look for the registration link below for my weekly mastermind. This is a premium leadership group coaching program where I take you from to the next level in your leadership in 90 minutes at a time. Remember, my goal is to develop 1,000 leaders worldwide, and I'm very excited about that. Okay, we're close to the end. Let's talk about strengths and weaknesses. Let's just answer a question quickly. Eric says, I joined late. Is it possible to have access to the recording? Eric, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one better. After this, I'm going to share with you a link to a Telegram channel. This is a leadership community where these free masterclasses are being shared, and also other free resources that you can get to. So ensure that you have Telegram downloaded. ensure that you have notifications on and you can get all the updates from this specific exercise. Thank you for asking. I appreciate you. Daphne says, it's helped me to always be aware of my emotions and continuously controlling and listening attentively to others. Thank you so much. I love you. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Strengths and weaknesses as we end off. Strengths and weaknesses, by identifying them, okay, it will help you in this journey. So you want to identify your strengths and weaknesses. We spoke of assessment tools before. You want to engage in self-reflection and self-assessment to identify strengths and weaknesses. And I shared with you my view on that before. In your organization, you want to promote the use of tools like the self-assessment questionnaires or feedback that will help you improve your life. There's values in honest introspection and seeking feedback from others. Okay. I want to quickly illustrate the power of leveraging strengths and managing weaknesses. Okay. What you want to do is I want to highlight that leveraging strengths can lead to exceptional performance and job satisfaction. Like I shared before, you want to know what your strengths and weaknesses are, and you want to double down on your weaknesses, strengths, and manage your weaknesses. Okay, I want to illustrate that aligning tasks, roles, and responsibilities with individual strengths allow you to excel, boost motivation, and productivity. So I want to encourage you to do a strengths finder test and see what is my strengths, what are my values, what are my beliefs, and if I have them, what do I do with this information? I can go back to my employer, or I can manage my environment if I'm an entrepreneur to be better so I can improve my workflow. Take your strengths finder results to your boss and say, have a look at this. These are what I believe my strengths are. How can we better utilize me and my strengths in this organization to get better results? I want to explain that managing weaknesses involves recognizing limitations and developing strategies to mitigate your impact on performance. I want to emphasize that managing weaknesses does not mean turning them into strengths, but rather finding ways to work around them effectively. And I've spoken about them before. Here are some techniques for capitalizing on strengths and addressing weaknesses. You want to leverage strengths. Identify and prioritize core strengths by understanding which ones brings the best value, the best outcome, and align them with personal and professional goals. Seek opportunities that allow the application and development of your strengths. Here's the coaching now on what I shared before. When you create your environment so it's optimized for your performance, or speaking to your employer or your team leader and talk about these things. Collaborate with others who have complementary strengths to create synergistic outcomes. So collaboration is one of the big things that I teach as a 4-pillar strategy to building a successful platform. And by collaborating with others, especially where they have strengths that kind of, the word evades me now, that complements your weaknesses, that is a great setup. And you want to regularly reflect on successes and moments when strengths were utilized effectively. I want to pause here and say a good culture in a company is regularly celebrating your wins and your we have gained. Andile, what other analytical tools are available? List at least 4. Okay, Andile, I think I would go. This is what I would do. Okay, and I know that you will appreciate this a lot as well. I would go to ChatGPT. Okay, and every day when I do reflection questions, okay, I would go to ChatGPT and I would ask ChatGPT, and you can find the address at chat.openai.com. Open it up, create an account, and then you tell it, please give me 5 reflection questions that will help me improve my self-awareness and my leadership. It's going to give you 5 questions and you use those for reflection every day. That's one of the tools that I'll use. The next one is definitely Strengths Finder. I do that. I've done it before. So ChatGPT for reflection questions. I would do Strengths Finder 2.0. I think there are free assessments online that you can do. I highly encourage buying the book, Strengths Finder 2.0. It was given as a gift to me by a pastor, and it's one of my greatest treasures. Next, you want to do the DISC profile. All right. I think there are free resources online that you can do. Some of them are paid, so just be careful unless you want to invest in that, because it will give you a more detailed report. And the fourth one I would say is do the bank code. Okay. It also helps you with these analytics. You can also get a free free assessment from them. So those are my 4 for you. Let me carry on. I just want to finish this class. So let's talk about addressing weaknesses. You want to seek learning and development opportunities to improve specific skills or knowledge related to your weaknesses that you've identified. Then you want to seek mentorship or coaching from individuals who excel in areas where you have weaknesses. Okay. Again, talking about collaboration, you want to leverage the strengths of others. If you're an employer or a team member or a team leader, you want to delegate tasks that aligns with their expertise, compensating for your weaknesses. Okay, delegation where you are weak is a great strategy. And then again, collaboration. And I want to encourage continuous growth. I want to encourage that you develop a growth mindset where you view weaknesses as opportunities for improvement rather than limitations in your life. I want to emphasize the importance of ongoing self-assessment and reassessment regularly. Your strengths, your weaknesses, beliefs, your values. And I want you to, in your organization, either as a leader, foster, or as a follower, encourage a culture of continuous learning. Here's another question for you. Are you aware of your weaknesses, and what are you currently doing with them? After all these tips that I've given you, what are you now going to do with them? All right. And while you're answering the comments, I'd love to hear your feedback. Let's talk about values and beliefs. Okay. And before I get started with values and beliefs, as I end off this class, I want to, let me just see how much do I have left. Yeah, I have 1 section left. So stay with me. I want you to list for me the comments below. Let's get to know each other better. Let's talk about the role of values and beliefs in self-awareness. Values are deeply held principles or standards that guide individual thought, actions, and behaviors. They shape your perceptions, your decisions, and your priorities. Then, beliefs are the convictions and assumptions that you hold about yourself. They influence your attitude, your behavior, and your interactions. Then self-awareness itself defines who you are and what you stand for. Okay, and obviously doing self-awareness exercises will bring forth values and beliefs for you. We've shared this before, but I just want to highlight them quickly. Here are some guided exercises to identify your core beliefs. Okay, reflection. I want to encourage you to reflect on moments when you feel the most fulfilled, when you feel proud, or when you feel aligned with your true selves. Identify the underlying values that were present in those moments. Then value assessments we've done before. Here, you want to go and again, maybe ChatGPT, go and say, what are the most common values? They will list it for you. And then go and select and rank those ones that resonate mostly with you. That will help you identify your core values. Okay, let's explore alignment of values with leadership behaviors. Values-driven leadership is important because it aligns your behaviors and your decision making with your core values. Okay, I want you to consider your leadership behaviors and evaluate how well those behaviors align with the identified core values. I encourage you to do self-reflection, especially on the potential gaps or areas of improvement. Then I want to encourage you to live your leadership values. I want to encourage you to develop a personal leadership value statement that articulates your core values and how it guides your leadership approach. I want to challenge you to consistently evaluate your actions and decisions against leadership values and make necessary adjustments to maintain alignment. Lastly, let's go over applying self-awareness to leadership. I know we've got about 5 minutes over in the hour. I might go over a little bit. So if you have to go at the top of the hour and your lunch is finished, please go ahead and watch the replay. You do have the link, and we can go. Let's go to some comments quickly. In certain areas, the environment of the workplace causes the weakness in people, safety conditions, lack of formality, money not available for upgrades, etc. So, Andile, I've got a challenge for you. One thing in my teams and wherever I work, I have this challenge, even to my family. If we want to achieve a certain thing, right, I tell them, it is easy for us to come up with 1,000 reasons why it cannot work. What I want us to do is effectively focus on how can we make it work. That means being solutions focused. So these challenges that we have, what is the solution to it? And if you have a team, it's a great environment to work through these, share thoughts and opinions, and workshop finding the solution for them together. Eric says, I'll surround myself with people who are strong in my areas of weaknesses. Absolutely. That's a great strategy. Andile says, I'm looking forward to the values evaluation. Chat GPT. It's a great tool, guys. I cannot emphasize that too much. All right. How do I apply self-awareness to leadership? It's authentic leadership. Okay, authentic leadership, and it's linked to self-awareness, is an approach that emphasizes genuineness, self-awareness, and congruence between your actions and your values. Authentic leaders are self-aware. They understand their values, strengths, and weaknesses, and the impact on others. Let's share some strategies for aligning your personal values with your leadership style. Okay, you want to reflect on personal values. I encourage you to reflect on your core values and what matters most to you. This introspection will help you align personal values with your leadership behaviors. Okay. Clarify your purpose as a leader. Okay. I want to encourage you to define your leadership purpose. In other words, why am I a leader, or why do I want to become a leader? And identify how it relates to your personal values. This clarity will help you get a guiding framework for decision making and actions. You want to integrate values in decision making. All right. I encourage you to consciously consider your values when it should be a driving factor behind it. Remember, the first thing that we shared here is this self-awareness exercises, and being more self-aware will help you with better decision making. You should assess if your choices align with your values, if they're consistent with authentic leadership. Again, seek feedback from team members and colleagues so you can assess if your leadership actions align with your values. It's a great exercise to have. So how do I get authentic leadership within organizations? Here's some practices that you can do. You want to foster a culture of trust and psychological safety. If you create an environment where you can have open communication, vulnerability, and diverse perspectives are welcome, you'll have better results. Encourage your team leaders and members to express their authentic self without fear of judgment or reprisal. Develop authentic leadership development programs. Offer leadership development programs. And if you're interested in taking your team to the next level, I can help you with that. Again, you can just go and register below, and I will discuss with you. And you can say, actually, I'm not interested in the mastermind. I'm interested in developing my team. Okay, they will focus on self-awareness, provide clarification on values and authentic leadership practices. The other thing is you can lead by example. Senior leaders should always model authentic leadership by demonstrating self-awareness, vulnerability, and consistent alignment with actions with values. And you want to promote meaningful connections. You want to encourage your leaders to foster genuine relationships with team members by practicing active listening, empathy, and understanding. We are on the hour. I've still got a little bit to go. So if you have the capacity and the time, stick with me so we can do that. Daphne says, my core values is integrity, loyalty, respect, empathy, and love. Thank you for the feedback. Eric, I bless you. Thank you so much. You can catch the replay later on. Remember, we are 1 hour in, so you can just go 1 hour in and catch the rest of the class. Okay, building effective relationships. You want to emphasize the importance of self-awareness in building relationships. Okay, self-awareness is crucial because it enables you to understand your own emotions, behaviors, etc. If you're self-aware, you can better manage your reactions, communicate effectively, and adapt your approach to different interpersonal dynamics. Self-awareness allows you to recognize and appreciate the diversity of perspectives, experiences, and needs. Give me a There you go. Thank you. Okay, and here's some, this is probably one of the most valuable parts of today, okay, is communication techniques for enhancing interpersonal reactions. All right, I want to share this with you, and this is going to probably be the height, but here are great skills for you to use. The first one is active listening. You want to practice this by giving your full attention to someone. Maintain eye contact and show genuine interest. You want to avoid interrupting and provide verbal and nonverbal cues that you are engaged. This specific exercise I've seen have saved marriages. Then effective verbal communication. Use clear and concise language. Choose words carefully and express thoughts and ideas with respect and clarity. Then there are nonverbal communication. Guys, this is very, very important that we are aware of this, because we communicate non-verbally more than we verbally communicate. Okay. And so you need to make sure that your facial expressions, gestures, and body language are always positive, engaging, respectful. Okay. And lastly, the tool of clarifying and summarizing. You want to clarify understanding by asking questions, paraphrasing, to ensure that you have accurately understood the person's message and summarize the key points. Almost done. Thank you. As I finish off, here's a question for you. Are you using any of these communication techniques? And why do they think they work for you? Are you using active listening, effective verbal communication, nonverbal communication, clarifying and summarizing? Have you used those before effectively? And how have they worked with you? I'm 2 minutes away from ending. Thank you so much. Let's finish off by talking about nurturing empathy and understanding in leadership roles. Okay. So first one is perspective taking. You want to practice putting yourself in other people's shoes to understand their experiences, emotions, and viewpoints. Consider the broader context and factors that influence their perspectives so that you can nurture empathy and understanding in yourself. Number 2, empathetic communication. Express empathy by acknowledging and validating other people's feelings, demonstrating compassion and offering support if you can. You want to use phrases like, I understand how you feel, or I can see why that's important to you, so you can convey the empathy. You want to create inclusive spaces. If you have an inclusive environment where everyone feels valued and heard, this will encourage diverse perspectives and actively seeking input from all team members that ensures everybody's voice is heard, respected, and considered. And lastly, cultural sensitivity. You want to recognize and appreciate cultural differences, norms, and values. You want to approach interactions with people with cultural sensitivity and adapt your communication style to bridge cultural gaps and foster understanding. Okay. And so before I conclude, I want to again say, if you like what you heard today and want to level up your leadership potential, skills, and impact, look out for the registration link below in the comments for my weekly mastermind. This is a premium leadership group coaching program where I take you to the next level in your leadership in 90 minutes at a time. Let's conclude our session today. All right. And remember, what we've spoken about is we've given you an overview of the importance of self-awareness in leadership. We spoke about understanding self-awareness, developing self-awareness, deepening self-awareness, and then applying self-awareness in your life. I want to just express my thankfulness for you being here today and being part of this journey of mine. This is going to be a weekly masterclass that I'll be doing free. And if you want to know when the next one is or the next topics, etc., below in the comments, I will soon share a link to the Telegram channel where I'm posting all these resources, and you can make yourself available to that and also journey with us. I want to ask one final question. What is your one takeaway from today's class? And even if you're watching this afterwards, share with me, what is your one takeaway today? What are you taking away from the session today? I'm going to wait for your responses and just give feedback. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Ivan Fiyun, and I'm a leadership coach and trainer. And I thoroughly enjoy doing something like this. And I want to express my gratitude for you joining me today and being part of this broadcast. I love you. I appreciate you. And I would love to hear, what is your takeaway from today? What is the one thing that you take away today in the comments below? Thank you so much. I love you. I appreciate you. And I'm looking forward to hear from you. Andile says, good one. Great, Andile. What was the most valuable part of today? What was the most valuable part of today for you, Andile? What did you learn today? What is your takeaway? And anybody else love to hear from you? Daphne says, ask for feedback. Daphne, feedback is the breakfast of champions. It's one of the most valuable tools in my arsenal. Andile says, okay, we've spoken about that before. Thank you, Andile. Thank you. Daphne says the most valuable is feedback. And Andile says, getting to understand the importance of self-evaluation. Andile, I highly encourage that. And if you decide to become part of our mastermind, the Level Up Leadership Mastermind, we will actually workshop those things, and they'll be very valuable to you. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining today. And those who watch the replay, if you watched all the way to here, obviously that is incredibly valuable to me. I deeply appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to seeing you again next time when we have Leadership Live at lunchtime next week on Monday at 12 o'clock. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate you. I love you. And good luck on your leadership journey. Goodbye.